Hello once again from the International Transpersonal Conference here in Prague. I'm honored to have Bernadette Blin to speak to now. Bernadette is president of the European Transpersonal Association and she's also a transpersonal psychotherapist. Bernadette, thanks for your time to speak to me. One question. What do you see as the value of a transpersonal perspective in therapy, perhaps even in coaching too?
Of course, I see a big value, and for me it's really a big importance, because if you consider the classic way of understanding what is a psychotherapeutic process or coaching process for someone, it's about improving, I would say, the well-being of the person. You know, giving tools and helping the person to feel, I don't know, to get many more understanding and a better way of life. But it is still connected to the ego, which is a limited understanding of who we are. So as long as we work with the ego, which is a necessity, I'm not against that at all. But if this is, you know, the only thing we can provide, we can offer to someone, that means we can ask the question, what is the purpose of life? Is it to live your life at this level of achieving the needs, the wishes of your ego? Which means then that your life will be you will be able, you know, to be adapted to this, I would say, unbalanced society, because this society is organized and by our ego. And to me, the main difference between, I would say, an ego therapy or a transpersonal therapy is that there is, in transpersonal psychotherapy, everything that concerns the ego, it's just one step, or it's just one vision, a partial vision, you know, of the full development of the person who is in front of me, who is working with me. Then, as transpersonal psychotherapist or even transpersonal coach, then we open a field which is much more wide, you know, which gives a different perspective of evolution. So it's not only about healing, you know, some parts of us or some wounds, which is something important, okay? But then also to support an evolutionary process, because as human beings, you know, what are you doing here? What are we here for? I mean, not just to feel better, but just to carry, you know, a more, I would say, to bring, you know, to the world different qualities which are absolutely necessary today, like sharing, solidarity, compassion, you know, this kind of thing, unconditional love and support to each other, etc. And to me, that is not the quality that are connected to the ego. This is not how I see it. You can have an ego who is a nice supporter, could say, but you know, it's always in a limited way. So for me, transpersonal value, you know, just opens the window so much more. So to who we are in a deeper sense, to connect with our true nature.
Thank you. That last phrase, connecting with our true nature, in my understanding, really summarizes everything you've just said.
Yeah.
And in that connecting with one's true nature, I can hear certain people saying, and how's that going to help me? Of course, with an ego-related problem. But can a transpersonal way of working in coaching or therapy, helping somebody connect more with their true nature, actually be a useful state to deal with, let's say, real-life problems?
I think, when you mention real life problems, that for me, the situation we are in, and most of our life problems are created by this imbalance of our egos. So if you give, a different opening and more space, you help people to open their heart. Yes, it will change many things in their relationship, in the family, in the work, in the society, in the education with their children, with the different people they are in contact with. So the nature of relationship we can establish with the world, I mean the people in the society, yes, can change, will change. For instance, I just have a very simple example that comes to my mind. I never, in my seminars, I never especially talk about food or our way of eating, but what I can observe, along the path people are working, is that the connection to a more conscious way of eating and changing, the type of diet that they have, because they can feel that I would say the junk food is not healthy for them. So there is more consciousness. In that sense, they will, and they can really help their health, in a very, very concrete way. And also, if you begin to be a more conscious person, then it will affect every domain of your life. That's, for me, that's as simple. I'm not going to say that it will happen magically, like that. You have a beautiful experience, opening experience, and then everything will change. No. It's a process. And of course, on the path, you also may have traps, and you can be caught in. But it's, in any process, you can find sometimes resistances, difficulties. But anyway, people are growing, and for me, it's not only psychotherapy but it's also evolution. It's a process of evolution.
Okay. So if I understand correctly, working with a transpersonal practitioner can help to move you along your path of evolution in life, maybe evolve you, speed up the process of evolution, or help you to become more aware of the path, your purpose in life?
Yes, it can speed up, maybe, probably it can. I could develop a little bit, but I don't know if it is the most important thing, because sometimes we also need time to the evolutionary processes may take time, but
maybe deepen the process.
Deepen and give, and what is evolution? In evolution, understood from an ego point of view, is not the same thing as a spiritual point of view. But to me, being a spiritual being, no, it's not being spiritual. No, I don't want to say that. But assuming that you are already a spiritual being is one thing, because many people, they are just cut off from their source, from their, I would say, divine nature, spiritual nature. But we are also incarnated beings. So the important thing is to make the connection between our spiritual dimension and how we act in the world. And for instance, when I meet some, I would say, businessman working in this business area, if he really is connected to spiritual values, then it may change lots of things in his way of, working with people. What is priority? Is it the result of financial money or, something else? This is very concrete questions.
Yeah.
And I think people are not in this world, just to be productive, not to, they are here also, for their own evolution and to participate to this collective adventure, which is life. I mean, their own life, but we are not living alone. So somehow we are responsible, you know, for the whole world, I would say.
Okay, well, that just makes sense.
Okay.
And in order to keep these videos as short as possible, I'm going to say thank you right there. Definitely valuable information.
Thank you.
And I appreciate your time.
Thank you.